All right, welcome back. Now we're going to use what we know, what we've been doing to solve application type problems. So here's the word problem. It says we have a television and the perimeter of the television is 140 inches. Okay, so we've got this television, right? And the perimeter is 140 inches. And the area of the screen, the perimeter of the screen, I'm sorry, the perimeter of the screen is 140 inches. The area of the screen is equal to 1,200 square inches. Okay, now, what they want us to find is first, they want us to find the length and the width of the television screen. So they want us to find L and W. Okay? Okay, so now this is where we're going to use, we got to set up two equations with two unknowns, right? So what's the formula for perimeter? So the perimeter is the distance around the screen. So we have two widths, two lengths, right? So it's going to be 2 times L plus 2 times W is equal to 140 inches. So there's one. Now the other one is area. And area is length times width. So we've got LW is equal to 1,200. Okay? And again, we're going to drop the units for a moment. Okay? Now, well, everything is in inches. So now what we're going to do is we're going to substitute. In this case, I would substitute. Because all I'm going to do is solve for either L or W here. So let's solve for W. So W equals 1,200 over L. Okay. Now I'm going to substitute in for W. So this is going to give me what? 2L plus 2 times W, but I'm going to write it as 1,200 over L is equal to 140. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is, because I've got this L here, I'm going to multiply everything by L to get rid of this L in the denominator. Okay? Because I want to have everything in the numerator. I don't want any fractions or fractional expressions, right? No rational expressions. So I'm going to multiply everything by L. So that means this is going to become 2L squared plus what? 2 times 1,200, which is going to be 2,400, equals 140L, right? So all I did was take the whole equation and just multiply both sides by L. That's it. And so when I did that, I get L squared. The L here will cancel with the L on top, and then I'll get an L here. So that's where I have this. Now I'm going to move everything to the right and make a quadratic equation equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 140L from both sides. Oops. And now I get 2L squared is equal, plus, or excuse me, not equal, not plus, minus 140L plus 2,400 equals 0. Okay, now I'm going to divide everything by 2, or I'm going to just divide everything by 2 because it's not going to change anything. And when I do that, I get L squared minus 70L plus 1,200 is equal to 0. Okay? Now, here's where you could use the quadratic formula. Okay? So, I don't want to deal with trying to find factors of 1,200 that are going to give me 70. Okay? Well, I could find factors of 120 that equals negative 7. That would be two, they'd be two negative numbers. That might not work. Yeah, never mind, that won't work. Or maybe they will. No, it won't. Yeah, that's not going to work. I don't think this is factorable, but let's use a quadratic formula, right? It's there for these situations, so let's use it. So now L is going to equal what? It's going to be negative b, which is this negative 70, so negative of a negative 70 plus or minus the square root of b squared, right? So it's going to be negative 70 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 1200, all over 2 times a, which is 1. Okay? Now, I'm going to simplify. So this becomes 70 plus or minus the square root of 4900. And this is going to be minus 4800 all over 2. Okay. Now, this is going to give me 70 plus or minus the square root of 100, which is 10, over 2. So this is going to give me what? 35 plus or minus 5. So this is going to give me either 30 or 40. So I got the length is either 30 or 40. Now I can go back and solve for the other one. So length is either 30 or 40. Right, so that's L. So now remember, the perimeter, 2L plus 2W equals 140 inches. And so now, if L is, let's see. Yeah, actually, it either has to be 30 or 40, because if L is 30, then the width is 40. If L is 40, then the width has to be 30. That's what we're going to get. Watch. So if I say L is 30, so 2 times 30 plus 2W equals 140, then I'm going to get 60 plus 2W equals 140. If I subtract 60 from both sides, I get 2W is equal to 80. And then what happens? W equals 40. So there you go. So the length is, let's say, 30, and the W is 40, and those are in inches. Okay? That's part A. Now, part B says, what's the diagonal? Okay, so part B says, what's the diagonal? Well, once we have the length and the width, then the diagonal just becomes using the Pythagorean theorem, because these will be the legs of the triangle. And then, because if you look at the screen, let's say the screen is this, so we got 30 inches here, 40 inches here, and the diagonal is there, right? So this is 30, right? This is 40, and we can find the diagonal by using the Pythagorean theorem. So let's do that. So it'll be what? 40 squared plus 30 squared equals, let's use D squared, D for diagonal. And so this will be 1600 plus 900, right, equals D squared, which will be what? 2500 equals D squared. And so if we take the square root of both sides, we get D equals what? The square root of 2500 which is going to, oh, plus or minus, right? So, and it's going to equal, well, in this case, actually, we're talking about a diagonal, so we can ignore the negative sign because the length can't be negative, right? So again, we're talking about the diagonal of a computer screen. We're not going to use negative numbers. So in this case here, this is going to be 50, right? So in this case here, the diagonal is going to equal 50 inches because the square root of 2,500 is 50. And that's it. Have a great day.